Hello, and thank you so much for listening to The Act of Courage, a global health podcast series brought to you by Capracare, Inc. Capracare is a global health nonprofit that's bringing health care to the people of Haiti. I'm Jo Ann. I am the International Service Chair of the Prospect Goshen Rotary Club located in Louisville, Kentucky. And I'm here with Jean-Pierre Louis, my co-host, as well as the founder and executive director of Capracare. During this third season, Jean and I will be talking with one another and others in the know about how Capracare, with Rotary's help, has brought cervical cancer screenings to the women of southern Haiti, saving lives. We'll talk about the journey. We'll talk about where we hope to go. We'll talk about where we are now. And we are thrilled that you're on the journey with us. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to episode 1, the beginning of our story. Jean and I are thrilled that you are with us on this ride, and we're lucky to have with us today Stacy Bailey-Ndyaie. Stacy is the founder and executive director of Bridge Kids International, which is headquartered in Louisville, Kentucky, but actually has young people all over the world doing good work. Stacy herself was well schooled in the area of international travel and international service when she joined the Prospect Goshen Rotary Club in 2011, which is when I met Stacy for the first time. And Stacy was with us when, in March of 2013, the seed was planted that our Rotary Club could be involved with helping to end cervical cancer in Haiti. It was that seed and Stacy's international connections that led us to Jean. And so, Stacy, we are grateful for you and are thrilled that you are with us today.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you all so much. It's wonderful just to be with you all again.
Cool. Now, Jean, our story, the Prospect Goshen Rotary Club's story, started in 2013, and we'll share that in a little bit. But we'd like to start with you telling us how it is, or what planted the seed with you and Capracare to become involved in trying to rein in cervical cancer in Haiti.
Yeah, so it was in August 2013, doing our first big medical mission trips to Haiti. We were actually, lots of nurse practitioners came down, and we had seen over 800 folks, primarily women, doing about a 7-day span. And a lot of them came down with UTI, urinary tract infections. And the nurses keep talking about how we saw so many women with vaginitis. I didn't even know what that was. And it was really post, I guess, the debrief phases of the trip, when we were all discussing what were the findings, and we saw, like I said, so many women came down with UTI, urinary tract infection, vaginitis, and we were like, whoa, what's going on here? And we started to realize it was because of the water. A lot of these women were taking the baths in the local canal, and that would give them the infections. And so, because at that time, Capracare wasn't as big as it is now, we didn't have women health services. And we said, wow, this would be a great opportunity if we would be able to provide more services for the women health services. So that's how the seed was planted for potentially expanding into providing women health services.
And so, as fate would have it, perhaps, while you're thinking about this in 2013,
Yeah.
the Prospect Goshen Rotary Club in March of that year happened to have as a guest speaker a local OBGYN, retired, who was doing some work in Haiti and was familiar with the see and treat method of screening women for cervical cancer. Now, we're going to talk about what that means on another episode.
Yes.
But bottom line, he was looking for someone who would help fund his efforts to screen women in Haiti. Now, what we understood more than anything was that our club could help fund the training of doctors and nurses to train them to screen women, and we could help set up the clinic to make that happen. And we also understood that if, in fact, the screening took place early enough that if it would catch the precancerous lesions before they became cancerous, that they could be frozen or removed on the same day, and we would be able to help save lives. So you remember, Stacy, I mean, our club started listening to this and we go, I think we could do that.
Yep, exactly. It's just so practical. It's like it almost sounded like too good to be true.
Well, and there was a time in this story, actually, the gentleman, we decided to get involved with this. It took us about a year and a half to figure out, in fact, that it was not a good fit. Our club and this gentleman's organization, we weren't a good fit. But that was like September of 2014. And by that time, we had been at this for a year and a half. And we had not only the folks on the International Service Committee, but we had members who were very much interested in continuing this project. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out how we could make that happen, but Stacy could. Stacy,
Well, I mean, yes. Well, what Jo Ann isn't even saying is that she had put in countless hours really working on this project and selling the project. And no, like we couldn't quit at that point. I mean, we were committed, and not just that, but there's more than one way to get things done, I guess. And so because it was a good project, it was good work and work that needed to be done. But so I had a friend who was in an organization called Faith in Action that had been doing work in Haiti for years and had like really good relationships and good contacts there, and had been building like leadership there. So I asked my friend if he could try to find a contact for us who could lead us to someone who might be a good partner there on the ground. And that's what happened. And so Jean, you said Francois Jean-Pierre?
Yeah, no, Francois Pierre-Louis, who happened
Pierre-Louis Jean-Pierre. Pierre-Louis.
and there's no relationship. There's no relationship,
Yeah.
by the way. It's just that we both have the same last name as Pierre-Louis. And he was one of the members who was on that mission trip with me that time.
Yep. And so when I talked to him, he said, I have just the group for you, like Capracare. And that was how we connected.
And so you arranged for us to talk to Jean, because candidly, we're a little skittish. We're skittish. Who is this guy? And anyhow, we arranged, this is pre-Zoom days, or this is December of 2014. So those awful phone conferences, that you had people in 5 different locations trying to talk on the same phone call. John, you remember the call?
Oh, I remember the call. And it was one of the best calls I ever had. It's almost like unexpected. Well, first of all, let me start. So I play baseball, right? And I've always know that scouts are always looking out for you, seeing the way that you playing ball, they come to scout you when you playing the game or whatever. So for me to have received that call, it was basically like, yeah, I've been doing the work for Capracare, and now somebody found out about our work and is giving me a call, right? So I clearly remember the call that we had, and what the idea to me about how we could potentially partner for this for cervical cancer screening. So for me, it was like, oh wow, oh definitely, let's do this. And then you invited me to come to meet the other members to tell them about our story, tell them about our work, and see if this could be a good fit.
Yeah, and what I love about that, just like also being in a nonprofit, like I said, there's not always an opportunity that someone comes to you, like saying, "Okay,
Oh,
we want to do this. We're ready. We've got some money to put behind it. Are you ready?" And you were ready. Like so, that was just what an amazing fit.
so you hit the nail on the head there, Stacy. It's often we searching for the partner, we
Mhm.
searching for the grant, right? We're looking for the prospect. So for you to get the call the other way around and say, hey, you're doing great work, we want to give you some money to help you do this work, doesn't happen that way. It's normally the other way around. But my thing is to always be ready for whatever, right? So my baseball analogy is always be, hey, if the coach call you to play whatever position on the field, you ready to go. So for me, when I got the call, it was like, yep, I'm ready to go.
Well, we knew, after we hung up with you, I think it was 5 of us probably who were in that room. And what we haven't shared with you, with our listeners, is, I mean, in when we walked away in September of 2014, we did not have in our club an OBGYN nor a director of public health. Stacy,
No,
remember?
that's right. It was like the timing, like this means that this is like part of a bigger plan, a bigger power, than us. Because right around the same time, Dr. J.B. Hale, who's a retired OBGYN, and Dr. Muriel Harris, who's a professor in public health at the University of Louisville, joined the club, like really right around the same time. And we were like, okay, this is destiny. We must really continue on with this and make this happen because the resources were right there, even within the club, to help make the project happen.
Well, I know when we hung up with you, John, JB said, we kind of looked at him and said, can we really do this? And Muriel, the director of public health, goes, yes, we can. And but then the question became, how do we sell it to the club? Because we had sold for a year and a half a product that turned out not to work. And so, John, when you came to visit us in January, you hit a home run. It's your baseball analogy. You hit a home run, and all of the people on the bases were loaded. What mattered to so many of our club members was that, in fact, you were Haitian, you were born in Haiti, and you knew what it was like to do business in Haiti. And just talk to us a little bit about that. That was not the case with our earlier partner.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, I have a whole team in Haiti, right? So I already had doctors and nurses in place, community health workers, folks on the ground. And my biggest thing is train the trainer model, right? So if you're going to implement any service, from outside of the country or outside of the organization to bring it into Capracare. If you're going to bring experts, folks with skill sets, then you want to bring folks to train your staff so therefore they can do the work and continue it. So the fact that you had folks already on your team who could train our team, it made sense to implement this program by training our staff to do the work. So therefore, when you guys do leave, my staff can continue taking the work hands-on and continue it. Often, that is the challenge for a lot of organizations who's doing work in I'll say, hey, I want to say developing countries, because that's who oftentimes have mission trips comes in. They see 300 people, they see 1,000 people, they work there for a month, providing a service that is well needed in that community. But when that group leaves, then the service stops. And I've experienced that. And as a kid, I've experienced that when I was in school. There was to be a school lunch program that was being done the same way. And I remember when the folks left, and we were all like, wow, this was so good. So when I started Capracare, I always said, anytime that we're going to do a program, that we're going to implement, I want to make sure that that doesn't happen to us. That whoever's coming in is going to train our staff, that Capracare has the capacity to take on our service and continue it. And that's exactly what happened with the partnership between Capracare and Rotary. Rotary came in and trained our underground staff, trained our doctors, trained our nurses, and they were able to continue the service. So to this day, this is what we've been doing. So the process for us is train our staff now who are master trainers, who are now able to train other organizations who may have doctors and nurses who wants to implement similar services. So, but we have three ways of doing this. So for one, when we do train somebody's staff to do the work, they then are able to go in a community, do outreach, let folks know that this service is available. When they bring those folks into their facility, they educate them. So it's a pre-education before they are able to even do the screening at all. So they have a workshop, they screen, they educate the folks, and the person then goes see the nurse or the doctor. They do the screening. Post that screening, there's another education that happens to explain to the person, how you feel. So it's basically post counseling. So that is our method of doing this work now. So right now, we have already trained another organization called Maison de Naissance, who in one of our later episodes, folks will get to learn more about their work, but that is what we are doing. And right now we have a big goal at Capracare, and that is to screen 25,000 women annually for cervical cancer, because a lot of folks do not know that cervical cancer is the leading cause of death for women in Haiti. That is a big, big problem. And we do have an opportunity now between our partnership with the Goshen Rotary Club to help to, reduce that, to end that. Our goal is to end cervical cancer in Haiti.
Well, and let's hold that thought for just a moment, because you've actually hit on the Rotary model. The Rotary does not, if you want to avail yourself of global grants that we're going to talk about in just a bit, but our model is to train and then leave. I mean, we help start programs, but we don't want to be the beginning and the end of anything. What we want to do is help the beginning. And that's what we knew when you left at the end of January. The buzz in the club clearly was that this is something that we wanted to do. My reaction in all candor was, okay, we don't get to back out now. All we have to do now is raise the money, rally the troops, and apply for one of those global grants. And so that's what we did.
Capracare has a great dream to screen 25,000 women for cervical cancer. Every screening has the potential to save a woman's life. Your fingerprints, too, can be a part of this success story in one of two ways. First, you can take your support to the next level and become an active part of our mission by becoming a monthly donor. Join Changemakers, our monthly giving club, today. Visit capracare.org/changemakers to set up your donation. It's quick and impactful. The second way is you can contribute specifically to the Prospect Goshen Rotary Club's foundation to help fund the next Cervical Cancer Global Grant. This next grant, through the magic of Rotary's matching programs, will provide funding to screen more Haitian women in more locations. Log on to the Rotary Club of Prospect Goshen's website. It's www.pgrotary.net to read more about how Rotary is working with Capracare and other partners to rein in cervical cancer in Haiti. From there, you can contribute directly to the Prospect Goshen Rotary Club Foundation to help fund the next Cervical Cancer Global Grant. Be a part of saving lives. It will change your life.
So Jean, it's now 10 years later, and actually it's 2 global grants later. You told us a bit about your process. How far have we come?
Well, we've come a long way. We've come a long way. We have done over 200 workshop with women's toward Haiti. We have already reached nearly 40,000 women to educate them about cervical cancer. And this year alone, we screened over 1,500 women just simply this year. So we have already screened nearly 4,000 women overall. So we are coming along pretty good. But I do know that we can do a lot better if we are able to bring in more supporters, more folks to support this work, because then we could expand the services toward the Greater South. Currently, right now, we're providing that service in Lake Eye, southern Haiti, but our goal is to bring in more supporters to financially support this initiative, so therefore we can screen 25,000 women annually, and that can easily be done in a country of 11 million people, where cervical cancer is the leading cause of death for women. That's more combined than any other cancers in Haiti, and this is something that is easily treatable.
Sean, do you have a sense, and we know there have been multiple starts and stops since 2017, and anyone who has read the news can figure out why. But since then, do you have a sense of how many lives have been saved?
We have saved over 175 lives. Over 175 women would have potentially died because they had precancerous lesion on their cervix.
And I always like to say, and it's only the beginning. Do you want me to talk about why it's a good idea for you to partner with us?
Oh, absolutely.
We've mentioned briefly global grants, which is it's one of the unique things that Rotary actually brings to the table. Any Rotary Club, it's just so happened the Prospect Goshen Rotary Club got to you first, for which we're excited about. But within Rotary world, Rotary encourages all of its clubs, wherever they are, to do international service, and they have particular areas of focus. There's actually 6 of them, but 2 of the 6 are maternal health and disease prevention, which is us. I mean, that's what this program is all about. And so if a club is willing to partner with another club in another part of the world and willing to partner with an organization on the ground, then Rotary will help that club fund an international project. And what Rotary International does is require the club to raise basically a third of the money that is needed for the project. And then through the district organization and the international organization, we get the other 2/3. So almost. So the math isn't quite right, but yeah, and don't write down the numbers that I tell you and then tell me what's wrong with my math. But the way it worked out on the first one, the first global grant we did, is our club raised, I think, $24,000. And then that was matched by our district for another 24,000. And then however much money more you need than that, the total project was $65,000.
Yes.
So our club, by raising $24,000, was able to fund a $65,000 project. And I like to think about it when I talk to young people who are thinking about contributing to what we're trying to do. Just think about it, put in $1, and your dollar will eventually be worth $3, and we can make that dollar go a long way. And so so I like to think sometimes, John, that Rotary has helped jumpstart this program that maybe you would not have been able to have jump started before.
Oh, absolutely. We were not in position financially to have done that. So that is definitely it. But you know what's more alarming? There was no other organization that were doing screening in southern Haiti. The only way you find a woman to get screening, first of all, people don't really do screening in Haiti, right? And that's because women oftentimes, in general, other people don't go to the doctor for preventive care. They go when they are sick, right? And for cervical cancer, if you go when you are sick, that means it's too late. So to hear a woman is going to get screening, that's kind of unheard of. And I say kind of, because I don't want to say it's unheard of, because there are certain women who can definitely afford to get screening, but the majority of the population of women are not in position to go pay a physician to screen them. So when Rotary helped Capracare to initiate this was a game changer. And even us as an organization didn't know how big of a game changer that was, right? Because up to this day, we have become the leading organization in Okai to actually screen women for cervical cancer. Now, of course, we have a few other organizations, including our partner Maison de Naissance, who's doing screening, who we actually train their staff to do the screening, but there was nobody else who was doing it before us, at least that I'm aware of. And now here it is, since 2017, we've been doing this work for over 5 years now. That is amazing.
Well, and Stacy, I don't know if you're aware of any, but neither am I. We do know that Port-au-Prince and north of Port-au-Prince, these kind of screenings take place. South of Port-au-Prince, they do not. They do not. And what was amazing to Maison de Naissance, which is also in the southern part, thank heavens, because then you were able to help them. But that's a birthing home with thousands of women going through there on a monthly basis. And they couldn't get over how excited they were that you all were there and that close and could help them. Well, you know what? We're thrilled, John. We think you're happy to have us as a partner, and not just because you like us, but the truth of the matter is we're able to help fund some stuff for you. But my club, Stacy and I, and my entire club are grateful to Capracare because you make it possible for people like me and my club members to have our fingerprints on the lives of some of the women that are saved that we otherwise wouldn't be able, we wouldn't be able to be involved. Ordinary people like us don't have an opportunity to do this kind of extraordinary work every day. And we're grateful to you for that.
And I would also add too that I think, this really speaks to the power of relationship. Because there have been times, we've eaten together, spend time. It takes it, and not just eating together, but spend lots of time together. You'll probably hear later about some of the challenges, that were met, together. But to build a relationship of trust, it's really, really invaluable. And I think for Rotary, and particularly Prospect Goshen Rotary, to have found a partner that, that the club can champion, in addition to the cause, but that, we know when you say, okay, yeah, we got this, that you got it, and you've proven that. And that is, it's like it's worth $1 million. So thank you for that.
Well, with that said, it hasn't been easy, has it?
What's the Creole word for that? For no, it's not.
Well, there could be a lot. It could be mes amis, right? Which means my friends, right? But when you're in trouble, who do you call, right? You call God, you call your mom, you call mes amis, my friends, or you could say tête chargée, which really translates to the head full, right? So there's a lot of Haitian words, but we'll keep the mes amis.
Well, the beauty is for our listening audience, you're going to have an opportunity to hear stories. We're devoting 2 whole episodes to talk about what it took to get that first global grant, and then what has happened since. But there's stories that are candidly, they're inspiring. Most of them are funny. They're heartwarming. But for us, it is really, it's a testament. First of all, I'll say a testament, and I'm grateful to the Prospect Goshen Rotary Club for never losing faith in us and you, Jean. They never did. We kept on grinding through. And then we had the privilege of meeting the Haitian folks who simply would not let us fail. And we're going to tell those stories. Over the next 7 weeks, we're going to tell those stories. But before we tell you those, next time, we want to bring to you Dr. Helen Lau and Dr. Sophia Lubin. Do I have that right, Sean?
That's right. Dr. Sophia Lubin.
They will be with us. Both of them are women from Haiti, GYNs now practicing in the United States, both who have a relationship with Capracare, but clearly are in the know about see and treat, how it works, why it particularly works for how Capracare screens women, what the challenges are, but what the opportunities are, and how we just cannot stop now. And so that's what's coming. We hope that you will continue to join us on this ride. We'll be oh so glad if you do. And we think maybe you will be glad you did too.
That's right. So thank you so much, Stacy.
Oh, thank you all. This has been great.
Let your fingerprints be a part of this success story. Log on to Capracare's website at www.capracare.org/changemakers, or go to the Prospect Goshen's Rotary Club website at www.pgrotary.net to donate today. Together we will save lives. You can also help Capracare's mission by subscribing to this podcast and leaving a rating and review. Thank you for growing our listening community.